Yo, let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here now. Let's get a little bit of high. What? You better not. Hello.
What it do?
Gabba-da-goo!
This is your champion.
Anyone want to take me out? Come find me.
Good. I'm the jump master.
Can you jump at the end? I'm trying to pack a bowl.
Stay close. I'm the jump master.
Of course.
No, don't do that.
Here we go. Ready up.
Attention. First blood.
First blood.
I'm sorry if you weren't ready, man.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Fucking oil's all over me now. Fuck.
1 minute. Rings nearby.
Ring's not too far. 45 left.
New kill leader appointed.
Heads up. New kill leader. We're close to the ring. 30 seconds left. Enemy shield broken.
10 seconds. The ring's just ahead.
Taking damage. Reloading.
Listen up. The ring's moving.
Taking damage. Enemy down. Reloading. Healing up. Eyes are open though. Getting shot at. False lockdown. You made the right choices.
You got him? Alright, I'm not coming then.
Looks like a care package is coming in. Big things in that.
Eyes are open though.
Calling in a lifeline package.
I got one chasing me. I'm gonna work my way to you, and we can turn back on these dudes. Oh, I have an alternator and a prowler. They're right here somewhere.
There's 2 kids on me.
Yeah, they're somewhere right by me.
Firing. Enemy
You're gonna get third party too.
reloading.
In for 12.
Do you have shotgun ammo?
They spotted me. I'm taking shots. Enemy shield broken.
Throwing hostile.
Downed an enemy. Need to recharge my shield.
Reload.
Firing.
There's a third party coming in there too.
Reloading.
There's another team over there.
Here's your birthday present.
Getting shot at. Need to recharge my shield.
Attention, the champion has been eliminated.
I got an evac tower.
I've been downed.
Let me just get out of this. I'll go fucking get you up somewhere else.
Round 2, beginning ring countdown.
Next ring's far.
Replicator being delivered.
Got extra supplies over here. That tower.
You left me? Fuck this game. It's bad enough I had this shit to deal with. Play with me for some time.
Tap, rack, and clear. I'm ready.
I'm ready. Let's get the job done.
I'm not here to sign your autographs. Not until after the match.
Introducing your champion.
I'm the jump master. No straying now.
Crappy.
Enough lambing around.
I guess we're going to the climatizer. I was getting high. Sorry, buddy.
I think we're all doing the same thing.
We're all getting high?
Yeah.
I don't think so. You're kind of getting
High
like
above me.
you're getting
So lovely.
you're getting mid. She's so high, like Cleopatra and Joan of Arc. Well, you think I don't know that shit?
Move fast, folks. Can't afford to lose anyone.
High above me.
Ring's closing in 60, but it's near. Spot of good luck, that.
You're the type of guy who likes
Shotgun bolt
stroke
here.
9
Level
too.
4. Bolts increase rate of fire.
Got him.
Ring's near, and we've got 45 seconds. Easy peasy.
You don't need to get people who already got themselves.
The ring's close, and we've 30 to spare. Would you like a pat on the back?
New kill leader. Watch your 6.
First blood. Good thing it's not us.
Got an extended energy mag here. Level 2.
Extra supplies here. Best fill your pockets, companions.
10 seconds. Rings
Standard
just
stock
ahead.
here. Level 2.
Are you an extra supply opener?
Eyes up. Crafting.
Companions, we've an Evo harvester here.
Well, get it. Harvest.
I leveled up. I'm done an upgrade too. Got an upgrade. Gonna put it to use.
Rings moving. Hustle up.
Extended supply bin here.
R301 here.
I'll give that a good home. We're too spread out.
Standard
Unless
stock
it's our
here.
plan
Level
to be
2.
easily picked off.
Gotta hop up here. Skull piercer.
Light ammo here.
Yes, that will do nicely.
Knockdown shield here. Level 3. Standard
Are
stock
you taking the
here.
R301, sir?
Looks like a care package is coming in. Big things in that.
Don't tell me you went back to flashy mode. What the fuck, bro? What in the absolute effing fuck?
Just, I know how bad you want it. And you
Standard
know how
stock
bad
here.
you want it.
Level 3. Got a hop up here. Skull. Forget that. Senior moment.
Found extra supplies here. Arm up. Optics. Sniper stock here. Extended heavy mag here.
See one another. There's some international presence there too, which is really sick. That's like
Good for
my
you.
favorite across the board. How mad was Cutie at all three of you for showing up late or hungover? We did not show up late nor hungover. We were all on time. My favorite new person, I love Etoile. Etoile I met before the Streamer Awards though, so it doesn't technically count. And Selbit. Selbit is like, I mean, he's awesome. He's so sick, and I am, dude, I'm so stoked. He's incredible. I'm really sad Aiden couldn't attend. Would have loved to see him getting getting. I'm gonna get my half to Brazil. Brazil Carayo is not even a joke. That's not even a meme. It's definitely happening. Are you gonna do anything with C-Dog Va while he's in LA? When he's in LA is has his ass locked down by Ludwig, who is a selfish lover. Okay, I will say it. Don't ever be in a polycule with Ludwig. He is selfish, and he keeps Sea Dog Vod to himself. Like I'm a selfless lover. I let Todok roam. Okay, Todok is for the streets. He can do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? When he's out here, it's fine. He can. I like spreading the love around. You know what I mean? Ludwig literally clamps on to Sea Dog Va and refuses to let him collaborate with anyone else. I'll just say it. I'll openly say it. It's drama, and it must be said. Where was I? Yeah, so I ended my broadcast here, rated the Cutie Cinderella broadcast because she needed it, you know? It's just like, it's good to help out little content creators like that. Cutie had a really banger monologue, I will say. I think that it was really incredible. She was really, really funny. Obviously, there were some parts of the monologue that weren't as funny as other parts of the monologue, Cutie Cinderella. Talking about, and with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, I might have one too. First of all, everybody knows that I am a facilitator of abortion, okay? I have quite literally, personally, and with this community, okay, have raised funds so that people can get abortions in red states, okay? Just saying. Yeah, Ludwig loved that joke, it seems. Real funny, Lud. Yes, our very own Doodle Burb was featured in a clip. Dude, this was a big night for a lot of Hasanabi community members, a lot of Hasanabi heads in the chat. You know what I mean? Asmongold did not approve of the chain, really? Your clips Discord has a bunch of clips. Okay, well, Cutie roasting you.
We've had an amazing year. We've got a lot of great stories to cover. Some good news. Tyler 1 and Michaela have a baby on the way.
Round 2.
Again?
Countdown.
And with the overturn of Roe v. Wade, Hassan might have one on the way too.
Enemy spotted.
You've got reputation. Don't blame me. It's not my fault.
Be aware of the replicators incoming.
Hassan is here tonight. Nominated for Best Just Chatting Streamer of the Year, which is amazing, but a little sad. He was gunning for Gamer of the Year.
That's messed up.
He's not much of a gamer, though. He thought Luigi's Mansion was where Austin Show goes to pool boys. The guy's an idiot. He's done a lot of good, though. Hassan raised millions of dollars for charity this year with the help of his community, which is absolutely magnificent. But it is nothing in comparison to the charity he has done for Will Neff's career.
Happy what you doing that day?
Come and get your birthday present.
Also nominated for Best Just Chatting Streamer. He is a one-of-a-kind talent, always full of energy and the best person you could ever meet. This past year, he launched a hot sauce that sold out in 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. He signed with an org. Yeah.
30 seconds, rings close.
And he still hasn't been banned for watching 12 seasons of Survivor on stream.
That's a real laser, dude. That's so funny.
Good thing no one's told him.
Anyway, so yeah, there was a lot of fun jokes. There was a lot of funny moments.
Hello.
Absolute banger every time, and just ripping into the fear end.
You're leaving me behind.
That part is obviously great, but it's no more. It's also literally just like every week of the Fear End podcast. And you said there weren't any leftist VTubers? Oh, I never said that. I said that there are actually a lot of... I said all the VTubers.
Hello, I see you.
The fan base, not so much.
And now I leave you.
I'm dressed up like someone who'd sell an NFT, I feel like. This is $8. This is really I got it at a mall kiosk yesterday. It's like so ridiculous. I of course I'm gonna buy it. It's tricky. But when Hassan does it, he's all cool. When I do it, I'm trying too hard. Fair enough, fair enough.
Good one. Yeah, God, Squeeze is he's such a natty talent. Anyway, I fell to my knees that she didn't plug the Fear and Patreon. I asked her about it last night at the after party. I was like, what the fuck? Why did you talk about Fear and? And she was like, you guys didn't do an ad for it. But that's drama. That's drama for the podcast.
No more awards for you. Yeah, I think just the internet would be pissed if I won that one. So Maybe name your price wins, maybe? I don't know.
Close range.
I think there's a good chance it could, but there's obviously stiff competition. It feels like every year the competition is getting tougher and tougher.
Stiffer and stiffer and stiffer.
Fantastic wording choice there. How drunk are you going to get tonight?
I don't know. I won't go full tilt.
I don't want to know what full tilt is for you.
Oh. Saikuno's gonna go in that pool this time if I go full tilt.
Nobody prepared a speech. Yeah, I don't know why. Did you see the random Iron Forge gym ads that made absolutely no sense, lol? I did. So, but it's a good thing. You know.
We can win this. There's 10 spots left. We just gotta not get fucking picked off here.
He's about to conduct an orchestra. Yes, he has the maestro fit. Okay, best moment of the night. Oh, I did. I crashed the Streamer Awards interview. I mean, they told me to do so, by the way. I didn't. Jinxie alone was co-streaming his show to like 100K people last night. Yeah, and so was Queso. So I met Rover Ross last night. That's my boy. Yeah, Rover Ross is incredible. I got the older streamer contingency locked down. Okay. I did. I said it right. I said it right. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at remembering. Okay. I'm getting better at remembering. Don't even come for me like that. Jinxie's chat is so awful, so toxic. Wait, really?
I'm getting high, but yeah.
Jinxie's chat is all 13. The average age
something
is
the
like
girls never said to you.
So that's probably why. And they're kids. And they're also like very young, and they're not like super invested.
Dude, we're going into hell if we do that. Don't you want to work around the edge or something?
These guys are bringing in the new audience, okay? This is the new way. These fans are toxic, but he himself is great. His fans were in the TikTok comments saying, who's Squeaks and why is he mad? And he was making a joke. Yeah, I don't think, but don't pick up on it, okay? I think like GC and Queso overall, I don't know too much about them at all, but clearly they are, you know, they're killing it. They're killing it on their own. They're doing a phenomenal job. This is the new wave. This is the new meta. Okay. Let me know why people getting mad at GC and Queso don't care for Twitch drama. They just want to stream. Yeah, they seem like nice guys. You have to admit that people like time GC are entertaining. I've never not admitted. Moisture's chat hates you. I don't care. He should. His chat should hate me. Okay. Honestly, most streamers' chat should hate us, okay? This community. Look at the way we look at a situation where it's like just an award show with a bunch of Twitch streamers, and like how everyone wants to basically seize the opportunity to like ruin it by baiting for drama. Like everybody chill out, okay? Everybody calm down. Yeah, Twitch chat always gets like
all above me.
Streamers, they're precious secret clubhouse guys.
Trying to make it down.
Yeah, usually it's a understandable.
Don't be coming to me. I wouldn't do that. I mean, you can maybe get to the building, but there's people right on top of me. I'm caught.
Being at the Streamer Awards, which apparently they booed him though, because Kai's already like 5'3". Banger, Keizo, and Jinxie tweet. Yeah, I saw this. The resemblance is uncanny. To be honest, most of the appeal of watching Keizo is calling him fat. I'm overweight, so I'm allowed to laugh at that.
Video content peak. Is this flexing?
How did they know? How did they find this? How did they?
Not run too much.
How did they?
Spotted.
The ring is in far, and we've 1 minute to make the trip. Splendid.
How did they find this? How did they find?
Smoke out.
This is so cool.
Stop saying I love Jinxie, that is so toxic. Everyone always says this. Like 12 years old with 165,000 people casually watching him that are coming from all different walks of life, from literally every other part of the fucking planet, to watch a dude who's yelling, okay, while playing Rainbow Six Siege. Yes, dude, they're all fucking kids. They're gonna say random shit in the chat, okay? What do you think about my chat, okay? This is one of the most heavily moderated fucking chats of all goddamn time. And you motherfuckers are toxic as shit too. It doesn't matter, okay? Please. Like, you guys are crazy. There's a difference between, like, directing it. There's a difference between, like, being purposefully, maliciously toxic and, like, garnering a toxic community and weaponizing it against other content creators and against other people in general versus, like, an unmanageable sea of comments. Okay, he's not actually 12, he's like 22, but he's like a baby.
Video content peak. Is this flexing? I don't know.
Yeah, bro, we're online, dog. Not every fucking chat's gonna be a bunch of socialists and communists. Stop crying about 12-year-olds calling people irrelevant or some shit. Exactly. It's like fucking ridiculous. Please, chill out. What is this? Hellboy is running no way.
Okay. Facebook stream. What's happening, guys? What's happening?
Thanks. Can't make it.
That's true. Yeah, they caught me. They caught me with my Facebook stream. Same comment when Kai and the W community was blowing up, cycle continues. Exactly. Why are you doing that dirty? Just two party animals from last month.
Need a medic. Being shot at. Then blast, I'm down.
Crappy, I get your eye, but why did you just start playing your own fucking game?
Why did love reverse?
You guys left me. I got people on me. I've had people on me the whole time. I came in, one of you dropped off, I picked you up, I rezzed you, and I ran away because I was getting shot.
Exactly.
Awesome.
You heard it yourself then, right? You ran away.
Because I was getting shot. What did you want me to do?
You kept running away.
I just picked you up.
When your stuff came on and made me happy. What do you mean? Here's what, by the way, this is what my adult ass, like rugged socialist ass chatters are complaining about this guy. I mean, excuse me if I'm not gonna fucking oh.
Greatness can come from small places. Got the small. Working on greatness.
No humanity here. Just death.
We're winning this. For the call.
Holy shit, is this spicy? Might never be fought again. This seems like it's spicy. What the fuck?
Let old man Fusey show you ankle biters how we did it back in the day.
Let the games begin! Oh, I can't wait!
Just got an actor spice. I might not be getting this ever again. Ooh, I might not be finishing this one.
It'd be a good idea to go there.
No!
Don't just fucking do that again.
Don't do what?
Scream like that.
Oh, that's not me screaming. That's the mic. This is Apex Legends that fucked me up. My mic is just like blowing out all the time on this game for some reason.
Shut up, nerd.
Nerd? What are you talking about? I'd have beat the shit out of you if I was high school, you bitch. Shut your ass up.
You're probably not even 70 pounds soaking wet.
I'm probably not 70 pounds. I wrestled 133 in college. What are you talking about, you dumbass?
130, buddy. You're a big boy.
Yeah, I cut to 133 pounds in college. I'm a 40-year-old man now. How much do you think I weigh now, you fucking toolbox?
150?
385.
You're a toolbox, dude. I would smack you around.
You could try. I give you first.
I wouldn't have to try, bro. You have 0 hand-to-hand combat hours.
Sure.
Hand-to-hand combat hour.
Now I know why you're stuck in this dog shit rank.
Because of my outside experience in the real world,
So
that as
tough.
some sort of translation into Apex Legends. Are you fucking
I'm just
weird?
muting this kid.
Yeah, mute me. I'm such a kid, aren't I? Fucking
I
Gen
don't know.
Z, bitch.
Are you a
Probably
kid
go
or are
focus
you...
on your life, not playing games if you're 40. buddy.
It's Sunday night, buddy. What do you mean? I'm leaving to go on a business trip tomorrow morning. I'm not allowed to play video games on Sunday night? Holy
you're not.
fuck. Have zero fucking self-awareness.
No, dude, you're not allowed to play video games on Sunday evening. Period.
Yeah, no adults do that ever.
No,
Such an
just
odd
you.
thing.
Like, other adults can do it, but you can't. Because you have hand-to-hand combat hours, so you should be in Iraq fighting for Americans.
Are you not familiar with the fact the Iraq war has been over for years now? How fucking dumb is your generation? Seriously? That's your comment?
Funny that he thinks our generation is that much further than his.
That much further? What do you mean? That's how generation gaps work. Are you
I
not?
just Googled it, dude, and we're still fighting in Iraq. I don't know what you're talking about.
The war in Iraq. Are you dumb? We have like less than 1,000 troops in Iraq right now. Do you understand what was going on when the war in Iraq started? Were you even around when 9/11 happened? You have no fucking clue what you're...
there to fight for the Americans because of the terrorists.
That's not why they went there. They went there because Dick Cheney convinced America that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And Saddam Hussein was about... What, you don't know basic history?
Bro, the fact
not
that
why
you're
they
so
went there.
heated over people fucking with you is just, it's just criminal.
You
Like,
think that I'm not playing this up?
Bro, your mic sounds like you got it out of a fucking Cracker Jack box.
Yeah, again, did you not hear me originally state? It's a $400 mic. What are you talking about? Go watch my stream and see if my mic is bad, you dumbass.
How many, is that so you can get a viewer out of me or what?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm fishing for viewers.
Boy.
Dude, that's
Get
actually
after
pretty
it.
smart.
That's what I want.
That's pretty smart. Not gonna lie.
Your Twitch the same as your fucking thing?
Clearly, I'm not a fucking casual. Is that what you think that that's about? You have to have viewers and you have to have money to make it in the media creation world.
Is your Twitch user the same?
Optics here. Close range.
Fucking brain dead.
You guys don't
Good
want
talk.
a viewer?
Good talk.
Do you think Twitch is the only streaming site?
Okay, is your kick the same? Like, is it
I'm on
scrappy
Mixer.
Oh my god.
Go find me on Justin.tv if you had any history inside of your head.
Pretty sure I'm about to find you on gaymailtube.com, but hey.
Sounds awesome. What do you hate gay people? You think that there's something wrong with being gay? Is that what you do, your generation?
I'm running like a little bitch. They were going this way.
We should go there.
I mean, I didn't just shit my pants though. Flatline alternator. I dropped an R9. No, I'm not moving from this spot till you give that back.
Yeah, so I just Googled it, and it says that we went to Iraq for the oil.
Fighting streamer,
Google
fighting
is really a great
Wait,
fucking
shut up.
way to get educated about the world.
Scrappy, which of these kids do you want to fight? The one on streamer building or the one in the train station? Which
I don't want to fight any of the people that you're trying to fight.
Okay, we're
I'll
gonna
let
fight.
you guys die, and then I'm gonna fucking res you harder.
Hit him flash. Low ground, on me, right corner. I'm swinging this kid.
Champion eliminated.
Head on me. Caustic shield. Getting swung. Caustic one.
replicator coming down.
Recharging shields. Don't worry about that. I'm down.
Swinging. Would you shoot back at this kid?
Eyes out for him.
Oh, it's 1v1. Oh my god. Dog shit.
30 damage. Wow.
Alright, just relax. I got everything under control.
Have a fantastic night, fucking toolboxes. Telling you that shit is fucking spicy.
Makes some serious.
Look how upset I am.
He's too grown to be doing that, bro. He's 22 years old, and he's also playing it up. Okay. Soda used to be the streamer he hates now. He doesn't even hate the stream. It's a meme, dude. Look at Soda. Soda's current title right now on stream is
generates press.
I've been streaming longer than the current streamer of the year has been alive, and I only still got one award, still an L. Okay. Like everything he does is sarcastic. He is not being serious. Here was my correction of
I
the
am
stream.
joined now by the queen, the gas station mogul,
Okay, I
the
gotta pee
biggest
real quick.
streamer
I'll be
in
back.
Turkey, Amaranth. Amaranth, how you feeling tonight?
I feel amazing. I'm so happy to be here with everybody. It's been a while since I've seen you guys.
Tell us about the fit. It is Boo.
I was inspired by my godmother Dolly
Ooh,
Parton.
damn.
Little country
Ammo.
music awards kind of vibe going on. Little CMAs.
A little CMA action, little twang. Awesome. Now, are you excited for any of the awards tonight more than any of the others?
I think Gamer of the Year. I think I should win that one.
I think you should win Gamer of the Year.
Yeah. I play a lot of Power World lately, you know, so I'm pretty excited. I'm nominated for every category, but that's the one I want to win the most.
You're probably the #1 Pal World streamer.
Probably am, yeah.
Fair. Are you excited to meet anybody tonight?
Good. I'm the jump master.
Not many. Who's new? Who's an upcoming streamer?
Yeah, I don't know. Now we're joined by the second biggest streamer in Turkey. Actually, this is Hassan Piker. I think he's coming out right now, joining us in our little trifecta.
Enough lambing around.
Hassan.
We're dropping.
You're stepping on our train.
They told me to interrupt this interview because I'm a misogynist and show up myself.
Oh, all right, okay. Interesting.
At least
I show up every time. If there's misogyny happening, I'm there to do it.
Okay, that's a new turn for you. Your hair looks fabulous. Who did your hair?
Jeff Wittig, the blind barber, shouts out to Jeff. He's on the H3 Bachelorette grind right now.
What
Never
the
seen him for love out
fuck?
there. But despite the fact that what he lacks in peripheral vision, he makes up for in guts.
There's no way.
Tell me about your fit. Let me know about it.
This is my all-Japanese fit. Will and I were, we actually went out and we tried to get dripped up.
Hit him 15 and 12 out there.
Polo Lounge, Purple Room. Will was able to, of course, because he has a gorgeous body, he was able to find...
I got one on top of me right here.
Perfectly. And then I came in and they were like, nothing fits you, you're an ogre, leave. I've never seen such a disgusting human. Her whole community bitches so hard she watches you, or you near her, it's weird to get shit on too. But you're gonna talk such an review, you're not allowed to be able to comment over there. Even get a modern shitty from it, I really don't get it, they hate you. And make my own fit work, even though it's covered in kaya for right now. This is the all-Japanese fit. We got the Soshiyotsuki.
Perfect pronunciation.
Yeah, Soshiyotsuki. The Yoshi Yamamoto and the tabbies on the bottom.
Show the shoes. We got the full-blown music tabby gear.
Okay, so if he doesn't get banned from Hamilton, it's definitely possible.
I'm out here doing domain expansion.
Misogyny and domain expansions. Guys, the #1 and #2 streamers from Turkey. This is a rare privilege. Shout out to all my Turks. Now we're going to throw it back to you for our next interview. We'll talk to you guys later.
He said 31. Was that a Scandi accent on the Japanese brand name? No. Kai getting screen time at the award? Yeah, that was fun. 31 means masturbation. In Turkey, we say 31 as a means to say like you're masturbating. 31 çekiyorum. It means pulling a 31. When you say you're pulling a 31, that means you're masturbating. Thought you guys would know that by now. I thought I was like, I thought I had described to you what that is, what the memes are. They caught you snacking. I was snacking big time.
No, just hang up the phone. All of you guys must be ready for this.
Yeah, bro, I was eating. I'm always eating.
You're wearing Balenciaga Crocs, as I understand. Is that right? Yeah, could you stand up close to the camera?
Why was there no best political streamer award 2 inches? I think that would be whack to do. Honestly, best politics is a weird category. Snagging, you had the whole buffet. Dude, I ate Tadek's plate because he wasn't there at first. I ate from Ray's plate because she wasn't eating her food. I ate the plates of everyone around me. I ate a little bit of Myung's food too. I was just like, I was hungry, bro. I hadn't eaten all day. I fucking, listen, I worked out in the morning. I streamed for like 4.5 hours. Then I ran over to the fucking award show, and there's like not a lot of snackable food there. I would do the same because leftover food is disrespectful. Exactly. Yeah, I just vacuumed. I phantom taxed everybody.
Like Jinxie. Yeah. Let's go, bang! But they're becoming the only Rainbow Six player with a job.
Oh man! Yo, T, that's my boy right there.
There have been a ton of iconic collaborations this year. Kai and Nicki Minaj.
Yep.
Destiny and Ben Shapiro. Peso and his refrigerator. Other industry professionals like Nick Merckx stood on business this year. He had Call of Duty skin removed after he tweeted that LGBT. A lot of classic footage came back. More grown men cry than dying in WoW.
800,000 likes in 18 hours. Queso's gonna flip the switch and go bonkers. He's about to become a villain. I died when she said queso in his refrigerator. That's what it is. This is like, people love this shit.
Did that actually do that?
I've never seen more people pretend they have acting.
I feel like Dan should step down as CEO and appoint Cutie. She feels more like the CEO of streaming. Yeah, it's an incredible niche, man.
Pick up an upgrade.
Care package over there. Let's get on that.
What you need from me?
Bolt SMG here. Up. Standard stock here. Level 1.
I should pick up an upgrade.
We're already in the ring. Gracias. Energy ammo here.
Attention. Replicator on its way down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cat. No, I'm just kidding. To show you the 36 Ti from NVIDIA itself. It's also known as a Founders Edition, which has landed on the market a few years ago. Unlike its predecessor 2080 Ti, it did not shake the world of much we thought it would. And that can be very easily explained just by looking at the core itself. Given the fact that the nanometers aren't getting any smaller, just by looking at the core can tell you a lot about it. What she says, size doesn't matter. Big or small, they all seem to die one way or another, and this 3060 Ti is no exception.
I'm upgraded and ready
Hello,
to
Internet. Today we have this 30T blah blah. Hello, Internet. Today we have this 3060 Ti that came in for repair with a fan and overheating issue. Let's power it on and see what's going on. Looks like the fan on the left is not working, which explains the overheating. If we were to boot into Windows and take a peek at the GPU sensors tab, it is clear that the core is telling the fan to spin at any given percentage, but the RPM reads 0, which makes perfect sense because the fan is not spinning. Let's take this thing apart and see if we can find what's wrong. Being lazy not wanting to take this card apart completely, I decided to compare both fan connectors for voltage drop, and with the cables disconnected and measuring every pin and comparing it to the other connector, I didn't see anything obvious. So it was time for the oscilloscope. Using an oscilloscope, we can test for wave signals on two main points of interest.
I got an evac tower here.
PWM pin and the tachometer. We're gonna call it an RPM. PWM is what tells the fan how often it should connect to 12 volt, thus regulating its speed by adjusting the frequency of that connection. And the RPM pin is the fan reporting its RPM. PWM pin shows expected signal, which is basically on and off sequence. And the RPM pin is reflecting the fan's RPM. Higher the wave, faster the spin. Okay, now let's switch to a non-working pin and compare the result. PWM is a flat line, meaning the GPU is unable to communicate to the fan for some reason. A lot of times for such behavior is a faulty circuit inside the core itself. And a fix for this problem would be to reroute PWM signals from a working fan. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. Let's take a look around first. Since this is a Founders Edition, schematics and board view files are not available. Thanks, NVIDIA. It can be difficult to trace what goes where. I don't see any circuits around the non-working fan connector, but there are some around the working one. And on closer examination, I think we found our problem. To verify that this is the component that failed, I will test its output pin and see if it makes its way all the way to the connector. Looks like we have a match. Let's go a step further and see if it makes any sense to repair this by measuring the input pins in relationship to either ground, VCC, or the output. Looks like the input is not shorted to any of them, and the chance for repair is high. Let's replace the component and see if that helps. To make that job easier, I will place the board on a motherboard stand-up pin, like so, and proceed with the repair.
45 seconds, rings just up ahead.
No need to go in there. We can take high ground.
Part is replaced. Part is partially assembled, and it looks like the fan does work. We'll go ahead and finish with the assembly. Look into Windows and see if everything is working as it should. And as you can see, it does. And just like that, little to no effort at all, problem was fixed, and hopefully you learned something today. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.
Have a blessed day.
Asian Poppy 123_YT says, they're prop going for the banner. Asian Poppy 123_YT says, so watch RB.
Just watching the ice to make sure no one's coming over to our right. Checking the west.
Someone's out there.
They'll all get fried going to it.
Enemy spotted.
Zip line out there. Wonder if I could jump over it.
Round 4. Countdown.
We're in the
Asian Poppy
We're in
123
here.
underscore YT says, MB. Asian Poppy 123 underscore YT says, come back oi.
Alright, but we're moving,
Asian Poppy
we're moving out of the circle
123
doing
underscore
that.
YT says, let's go fight.
They're gonna go take our spot.
I'm spotted, taking fire. Just giving my shields a recharge.
Getting shot at.
Asian Poppy 123 underscore YT says, go back JK.
Got one?
Their simulacrum snared me. 2 squads left to kill.
Asian Poppy 123 underscore YT says, lifeline come back oi.
Recharging shields.
I'm the one who told you guys to come back this way. You guys pushed that other team and I went and killed
Asian
one.
Poppy 123
I
underscore
went and
YT
killed
says,
one.
sorry.
Where are they shooting from?
Skins are over there.
Block them off from getting back up here. Do not let them up here. The other team was in the house. I knocked one down, but they're gonna get back up.
Got an upgrade. Gonna put it to use.
How do I use my last stand? How do I use my self-revival?
Asian Poppy 123 underscore YT says, when you die it gives you the option.
Do I hit Q?
Asian Poppy 123 underscore YT says, it's tell you.
Hair drawn if you need it.
Skin suits there.
Shake a leg. We've only got a minute, and the ring's right there.
Seconds, rings close. I'm spotted. Taken back.
Oh my god, that took everything off of me.
Come on, Richard. Say hello. Just giving my shields a recharge.
I cracked the skin suit's shield. Firing on him.
10 seconds, the ring's just ahead.
A broken enemy shield. Skin bag over there. That one's down.
Let's see what's up over there. Cancel that.
Just let him get third party. Let him get third party.
Amigos, let's go here.
Getting shot. Someone's got a death.
Jump out here. Aquí, over here.
Recharging shield.
Reload.
Jump out here. Just us and them. Come on, amigos. Throwing jump out.
Hair drawn if you need it.
Taking fire.
Just giving my...
I'm down.
Final round. Beginning ring
Aquí,
countdown.
over here.
How do I use it? How do I use it?
Did you think you'd be on top forever? Change is coming.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear hamstring thing.
That's breakfast biscuit. It's happy hump day. No, it's happy birthday. We're so happy to have a biscuit. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Y'all been sleeping. Where's that biscuit? It's right here. It's right here. There it is. Yeah, I'm gonna eat this. Oh, waggy tail. Oh, no, saying have a great day, everybody. Are you eating it or are you just don't worry about what I'm doing over here.
Let's make those drop kicks crap their dacks.
I'm ready. Let's get the job done.
This is your champion.
I'm the jump master. Follow me.
Should do the same for me.
Never did finish,
I like that. Spots.
Bombs away.
Attention. First blood.
Tell me about your brother, the parrot.
Someone's being a rascal. An enemy landed near me. Cheeky bastard. Being
Getting some damage over here.
Right
I'm
from the
gonna
first
leave.
day that he came into the home, where it's like the little brother who annoys the big brother all the time. Freud watches Darwin play with the toy, and he will mimic exactly what Darwin's doing. Darwin, when he wants his alone time, he'll walk away, but Freud will follow him and start talking to him into his face. They fight over cardboard and paper. I don't know why. It's non-stop, all-day entertainment with these two. It's like watching really good comedy. I ended up getting Darwin. Once he was accidentally bred by the bird owner in my area, I took him out of his little travel bag and I put him up against my chest, and he claimed to me it was like meeting my soulmate. He's always been next to me. If you're cleaning, he's on your shoulder. If you're working on the computer, he's on your shoulder. Hey? Ready? He wants to be involved in everything. But research shows that birds should be kept in pairs. I noticed that when he would see birds outside, he would be really interested in them. So I started showing him bird videos. He would pick up the words and the sounds from the videos and he would repeat them. I was worried about him acting lonely, and so I figured he does need a companion. So I decided to get a new bird for him, and I found a family who was rehoming a white ringneck. I had Freud come meet Darwin first. And the initial meeting was amazing. They were talking to each other back and forth. Darwin was a little bit, what is this? Because he's used to seeing the birds through a window or through a computer screen. And Freud wanted to be Darwin's friend so badly. Freud would just be right up in his face. But then, if Freud is in his cage, Darwin will go to the cage and talk to him through the cage. Now they're big brother and little brother.
I knock one.
I think they love their little flock. Regardless if he has a bird or even a flock, I think I will always be his person. But it makes me feel good. Yeah, he's got companions.
Finance bros who don't know how to dress, some might call them Rizless, are being scammed out of a lot of money, but they're actually getting something in return. I'll give them that. But a hilarious Wall Street Journal article has shed a spotlight on the pricey stylists who are giving fashion advice to clueless corporate guys with way too much money to spend. Now let's take Jay Buys, for example. He's the CEO of a web design firm who switched up his look with the help of stylist Patrick Hanger. There you can see the before and after, which I feel, when I tell you how much it's going to cost, I feel like you could just learn how to dress from watching YouTube videos, but he didn't do that, which would have been free. He decided to pay Hanger up to $5,000 for his services. But, you know, he doesn't regret it, and it was his money, I guess. But he said, the switch had a Superman bursting out of the phone booth effect on Buys. I look like I know what I'm doing. Strangers think so, too. He was startled when a random 20-something at the grocery store saw his leather John Barbados jacket and chirped, I like your drip, bro. And that's what he's doing it for. He's doing it for random dudes at the grocery store. But that's not even the most expensive stylist that money can buy you. Let's take a look at Raj Nanganori, who's a neurosurgeon who got help from stylist Peter Nyan. There he is. We don't have a before pic. Yeah, I don't know, maybe he was embarrassed about being dripless previously, but this is how he's styling himself now, which costs $10,000. He spent $10,000 to put together, can we pull that picture back up? A polo, a cardigan, and pants. That cost $10,000.
Let's be clear. The outfit is extra. The advice is $10,000. It's just serious.
Yeah, just have some guy tell you, you would look good in this. $10,000. But there is an interesting aspect to the story, right? Why are these men so confused on how to style themselves? Well, today, strivers in tech, law, and finance are wealthier than ever, but corporate dress codes have collapsed. The hoodie-clad billionaire has become a cliche, and the C-suite Loro Piana sneakers have trounced dress shoes. Men are very confused right now with the dress codes that have blurred the lines of formality, says JCJ, a white-collar stylist in New York City for 2 decades, whose services start at $3,800 plus expenses. Now, apparently, oftentimes, these men have already tried and failed to take fashion advice from their significant others before turning to a stylist. Supreet Chahal, a personal stylist in Oakland specializing in tech guys. That's crazy. I'm sorry, that's crazy that that's your field. It's just tech bros. But they say many clients come in saying, my girlfriend tried to help me. My wife tried out on me, but she keeps dressing me the same way she wants me to look. Now, that's helped to solve the fashion issues that these men were struggling with, but now they face a different issue. How do you tell people that you spent thousands of dollars on a stylist? Some clients are wary of admitting they enlisted a fashion guru, and rightfully so, because yeah, that's embarrassing. One CEO I spoke with who hired a stylist told his business partner he had done so only to be mocked. After that, he decided, I'm not talking to anyone. Good. I mean, if you have that kind of disposable income to throw away on a stylist, and I'm not like that into fashion, I don't really know what I'm doing. But you know, whatever amount of money I can save up, I'm not going to waste on. And you know what? Who am I to judge them? That's how they want to spend their money. But to me, it deserves ridicule.
Yeah. Well, okay. First of all, let me shock the world by saying I once also had a stylist. Okay. So I'm going to explain that in a sec. But first, I get it, right? So I get it on a couple of grounds. Number one, I also dress like a schlep, and we joked around about that a lot, right? And so in a business meeting, if you dress like a schlep in real life, who cares? But if you dress like a schlep in a business meeting, unfortunately, the other business guys are also image obsessed, and they mark you down. They do, right? So, like, I have the sweatshirt and hoodie thing just because all I ever do is wear TYT merch, right? And so I have a bunch of TYT hoodies and TYT t-shirts, but lucky for me, that randomly turned out to be like a cool outfit in the tech world or whatever for a while, but not really anymore. And you can't go to a business meeting like that, so you, etc. Right? So, and so I understand it. I understand. The second thing I understand is they're right. It's like when your wife is trying to dress you, or back in the old days, mom, like as in a couple of years ago, they're looking for things that they like as opposed to what you like, etc. And then these guys have so much money that, I mean, they're like, well, if they didn't waste it on this, they'd waste it on something else. So I guess if you have that much money to burn, it's not that big a deal for you. Now, when did I have the stats? Do you think I paid for it? You crazy? Okay, no way. Current TV, when I was on there, they looked at me and they're like, yeah, you're going to need a stylist. No, we're hiring one, and it's actually kind of mandatory. This we don't trust you. We think if we leave it up to you, you're going to look terrible on it. Okay.
And that's a question that I always recently been asking myself. What was the origin point of the degenerate world that the internet we know of today? Now, of course, the device you're using, the computer, is not the first iteration of this device. Way back in the day, they used to have computers that process stuff through vacuum tubes and old school technology. Back in the day, the internet took like minutes, maybe hours to fire up a certain web page, depending on how, bloated it was. Nowadays, accessing a web page can be done entirely wirelessly over 5G communications. You can watch 4K video through wireless cellular technology. Crazy world we live in. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking back to a time where some of you all watching weren't even born. We're talking about the early 90s. Now, of course, the first website in the world actually still exists. This is info.cern.ch, home of the actual very first website ever made. And here you can browse the first website, which obviously, if you're looking at it, appears to just basically be very basic HTML. In fact, if you start viewing the page source, it is in fact very, very basic. This is the first website ever made. It wasn't meant to share video. It wasn't meant to play flash games on. It wasn't meant to do anything wacky. But it was the first resource of information human beings commercially used. Now, of course, I want to start off by looking into these old school websites. And obviously, somebody who's done like deep web browsing and things like that, this isn't exciting, okay? Whipping this up on Chrome doesn't really get my rocks off, okay? So today we're going to go even back in time and open up a time capsule that allows us to use the internet of old, the computer systems of old, and basically experience the website as initially people back in the day saw it. So today's going to be a little goofy, relaxing video, but let's get diving right in to the very first website in its original pristine chef's kiss way. So first things first, when you actually look at the website resource over here, you can see that what's out here. Let's see what they've got over here. By subject, and of course you can see that the first website baby. Biosciences, computing, geography, law, libraries, literature, humanity, math. It's an educational website, okay? You weren't downloading ROMs or anything. You want to read the Bible? Right over here, ladies and gentlemen. You can whip out the old King James Bible, which takes at least a decade to load for some reason. I'm trying to figure out why that's the case. And of course, some of these sites have been updated. The website leads to log on. Of course, they're even like, bro, we don't know what user2 www text leetable.html is, bro. We live in the year 2024. Now, what's interesting over here is www text. And the reason why it's important is, of course, one thing you have to understand is website code, typically HTML, is also backwards compatible. So a lot of sites that you think might not work in old school browsers probably do, provided they're not using a lot of new technologies that render them inoperable. For instance, accessing Google on old school browsers like Netscape, for instance, appear to still reasonably work. That doesn't mean you can do much with them, but you can access Google and certain websites on old school browsers because there is a compatible code base. So here's an entire roadmap of the original browsers, ladies and gentlemen. So we're probably sitting somewhere, you know, if we have to look at the timeline, in the year 2024. There's a few browsers we know that exist, but all the way back in the year 1990.
Are you crazy?
Well, not 1990, but just shortly before, you know, the end of the beginning of 1990 was actually the World Wide Web.
Oh, what kind of Asian?
Also,
Indian Asian?
The line
If you
mode
think
browser,
India is
which is
Asian, yeah.
libwww. I know that it's hard to see, but I'm going to show you a more like you know, visual component of it right now. So for instance, if you want to browse that same website under the wide mode browser, which was like the second browser ever made, this is what it basically looked like. Okay, you know those old school computer monochrome terminals you find in like Fallout or like old movies or like TV shows? This is basically it. So, for instance, if we actually go and type in
who
that,
that is?
they even have like text edited too on it. You can go like that.
No, I don't think so. I'm not a big YouTube guy.
Let's actually. Oh my God, this whole site. This site kind of sucks. So here's the original website here. World Wide Web is a wide area hypermedia information.
Guy? No. Yeah, right.
This is how people used to browse the chans, bro. And of course, what you can see over here is they link actual browsers like
I can't hear what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying.
Next Step, which is actually an operating system we'll look into a little bit. But of course, one of the things that the way that they browsed is, you see how they have like little bracketed numbers? So what you would basically do is, if you wanted to read like subjects, for instance, you would type in 8, hit enter, and boom, you would get information by a subject. And of course, if you wanted to, like, I don't know, learn something about, like, for instance, biosciences. I'm not a bioscience expert, but let's type in 6, head on over there. Whoa, baby and ladies and gentlemen, you've got like a database. It seems like some of the websites have updated so much that you actually can't access a whole chunk of them. But you know, whatever. We can keep seeing more. Okay, we can hit enter for more, and we get other stuff like mathematics. Okay, Latin, French. I'm not gonna go there. Let's look at song lyrics, dude. The original Genius, apparently disabled for copyright reasons. Man, there's not a whole lot of fun here. Get out of here. Physics, high energy physics. Let's go, dude. I'm pretty high energy today. Boom. What is that? Information from CERN, DESI, Fermilab, into E3 KDI. We're going to stick with the first one, because we know CERN. And of course, this loops back to the first website. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, was an emulation. And emulation is cool and all, but I'm going to show you kind of a similar version of this. Is a terminal. Now, if you're a Linux user, if you're a Mac user, you probably know the terminal. If you're a Windows user, you probably know it as something known as the command prompt PowerShell. Okay. Or I guess the Windows terminal, whatever the hell they want to call it these days. I'm going to fire up links like the good Lord wanted. And of course, this is the best way to browse the internet. If it's not this way, it's literally telnet, okay? That's how a man
You should just stay ducked here and not even fucking move. Just wait for the third party.
The web, okay? Not this beta.
Don't show your face. Don't get hit.
Firefox and all the other browsers that exist. So we're gonna type.
Don't show your face and don't get hit.
Open the URL. What you want to do is you want to go info.cern.ca. And this is how you browse the original website as God intended. So you can actually go and browse the first. In fact, you can load up the line mode browser inside here right now. I think this might actually.
Ah! What are you laughing about there? Cheat?
Oh, good boy, you turned your web browser off. You want a treat?
I turned my web browser off? What the fuck's wrong with you? I didn't even have a web browser open, bro.
Vision is clear. Gas trap deployed.
I may not have fallen. Do you have pad? I can ult him. Are they in yellow car or are they behind it? Okay, I can move it up. I'm coming. He revolted on you.
Charging up my shields. My vision is clear.
Listen up, I'm getting shot at.
Getting shot. Yo, cracked an enemy shield.
Nice.
What the fuck is this game?
It's a 2v3. Just don't show your face, man. That's what you should have done. Me when I don't show my face.
Because I went and slid off your fucking jump pad and I was launched in the air for so goddamn long. They just shot me out like a goddamn ski.
Chill. It's alright. Something it hurts him to talk. That's a guy, right?
No sweat for me. Can you keep up?
That was the same guy. It's from the red team. Come. You're alone. Shoot him. Here's 40, actually.
Listen up, I'm getting shot at.
On me, in front of me. I broke him. This guy's roaring. They're both one, no, they're both one.
Broke their shield now.
Just stuck. Yeah, alright.
He's so bad, he's so
Proud, mate. Not a big bloody deal.
Break this system, to be honest, if I loaded up that line. Oh my god! It actually. Oh yeah, it works. It's just literally an animation with HTML. But we're gonna go.
You can't spell problematic without M-E. Target locked. Just like old times, Dad.
Pay attention, you might learn a thing or two.
This is your champion.
The wicked don't rest, so I can't either.
I'm the jump master. No straying now.
Three down and locked. Let's land over there. Ignore him. I'm calling the ball. Let's land over there.
All right, just got back. Where we going?
Get ready. Moving up.
You sure you want to go there? You want to go to the right?
I'm hungry and don't know what I'm saying. Attention. First blood. Round one.
First blood. Good thing it's not us.
Nice. We're already inside the next ring.
Prowler, SMG here.
That's got my name written all over it. ignore me. I'm hungry and don't know what I'm saying.
New kill leader appointed.
Nemesis here.
New kill leader?
Extra supplies over here. Backpack here. Level 2.
I'll back that. Hey, thanks. Gotta hop up here. Skull piercer. Knockdown shield here. Level 3.
Leveled up. It's upgrade time. Let's see what the duck order. I'm upgraded and ready to jam. Say one, we're all inside this ring.
Optics here. Mid-range.
Arm up, cuzzies. Got some goodies for ya.
Hold up.
Standard heavy
Almost
mag
done
here.
crafting.
Level 4.
Attention, delivering care package.
Check it out. Evac tower here. If you like flying as much as I do.
I bloody want it.
Care package coming down.
Wait, now I got
Here.
you.
Level 3.
I need it.
Care package over there.
Crafton, hang on a mo.
Get ready, squad. Got a bandit here.
Recharging my shield.
Where?
Back. All right.
Bogey here, and I'm looking straight up their tailpipe.
Can we go back? Yeah, we can go.
Fire! Under fire!
Info CERN. So
Really?
obviously,
You
this
know,
is the
that
first
entire
type of
squad's
browser.
gone
If you
bye-bye.
go browse the first website, you might be like, whoa, this doesn't look crazy exciting. Remember, this is
Charging
before
up
a
my
time
shields.
when GUIs were like this big thing, okay? This is the time period where the way we browsed the internet or the way we operated computers was primarily through command lines, okay? It wasn't until like a couple of years later that companies like, Xerox, like companies like OS/2, I believe, or that is a product, with Microsoft, Apple, a lot of the big companies, today that make the operating systems actually developed the first versions of Windows 1.0 or MS-DOS or whatever. So for instance, instead of subjects real quick, you can actually browse a lot of these areas. So for instance, if you want to see like the US weather, for instance, it says unable to access documents. But if we go to like law, for instance, which it wasn't able to calculate before, we're actually connecting to the Cornell Education website. And this is what it looks like if you take away everything, all the images, the fancy jargon, and browse it as an old school like website. Now, if you actually like want to check, you can go to like YouTube, for instance, too. So, for instance, you go to www.google.com, for instance, right? You can basically go to Google as it is, and the website, again, you have to basically allow a whole bunch of cookies and whatnot, but here's Google as it is. So if I type in Mudahar, for instance, you can see that Google searching myself, you can literally see what Google would look like if it literally was just text-based. And you can go to YouTube as well, too. So if you go to youtube.com, and obviously you can understand that YouTube probably isn't going to work because it's text. Okay? It's not how it works. There's no video or image to view. Now, to understand, there's a lot of passion about the origins of the internet, and it's not just from CERN, it's about people who want to keep this stuff alive. The newer generations can at least appreciate where, like, everything began. And obviously, if you know a little bit about the history of the internet, you know the first version of it was ARPANET. Everything you use on the internet was basically a product of the United States military anyway, their communication system. So you can actually read it from LivingInternet.com, where they say ARPANET was the first wide area packet switching network, the Eve network of what has evolved into the internet we know and love today. So it says here the UCLA team, which I believe is the University of California, Los Angeles, installed the IMP and created the first ARPANET node. And of course, if you look
Yeah,
over here,
I'm not coming back. I'm gonna.
interface between the UCLA computer and the IMP. The machines were connected, and within a couple of days of delivery, the IMP was communicating with the local NMC host. An SDS Sigma 7 computer, which, by the way, that I believe it's that right there, ran the SEX operating system. I feel like they intentionally made it so that that would be the acronym. Get the fuck out of here, dude. So basically, the first network, the first actual connection was next. And effectively, what would happen is at the Stanford Research Institute, they ran an SDS 940 with the Genie operating system and connected to another IMP. And of course, the connection was established over a 50 kilobyte per second line provided by the AT&T telephone company. As is often the case, the first test didn't work flawlessly, as you can imagine. I'm more interested in what the hell the Genie operating system was. I actually want to see what the hell that was. But of course, one of those Sigma computers that you actually saw looked a lot like this. And again, if you're wondering, whoa, Muda, can you explain how this works? Dude, trust me, give me a few days and I'll probably end up figuring out. But this is, as you can imagine, way before my time, okay? Way before a lot of people I know's time. The only people that I know that are using this are actually very, very retired. And in some cases are very, very dead. But again, according to Library Learning, an educational guide, the internet started in the 60s for government researchers to share info. Because back in the 60s, before the internet, the only way to share information between computer to computer was literally through, like, actually magnetic tape. You had to actually print your information to a tape, post that over to the person in the world, snail mail it to them, and they would then ingest and install all that information and see what was going back and forth. Thank God the internet allowed all of us to communicate in basically real time. Okay, I could send something over to Bob without having to involve the United States Postal Services. Jesus. January 1st, 1983 is considered the official birthday of the internet. Prior to this, the various computer networks did not have a standard way to communicate with each other. The new communication protocol was established under TCP/IP, which is the standard that we use today. The above is a scale model of the UNIVAC-1. That's a scale model, by the way. You see how those like cabinets and shit? This was like this computer back in the day, okay, that was performing 1,000 calculations per second, weighed 16,000 pounds, and used 5,000 vacuum tubes. Christ almighty, dude, a long way that we've come. Could you imagine back in time, like when they discovered this, telling them that a goddamn you could have more processing power than every computer in the goddamn state combined? That is insane. That's wild. It's crazy to think of it. So according to W3.org, the first web browser was called World Wide Web, as after all, it was written in 1990, and it was the only way to see the web. Much later, it was renamed Nexus in order to save confusion between the program and the abstract information space. So again, one of the things that they have is a screenshot of the browser. And if you look at a screenshot, that's exactly how it looks. So it kind of resembles modern internet browsers of today. And of course, one of the things that I have over here is an installation of the Next Step browser. So while this isn't necessarily perfect, I'm going to install the actual web browser in this, another web browser, not this one in particular, and show you how the internet works, probably through B-roll, because it does take a while to install this specific version of the operating system. But don't let the actual buckos at CERN prevent you. They actually rebuilt the original browser for everyone to use. You can use it within a modern browser. It's a wild world indeed. It's literally right here, 2019. They rebuilt it. This is how much they care about showing people how the internet began. And of course, if you look at the actual browser over here, this kind of looks like when I did deep web browsing with like the hidden wiki, like the whole like gateway to like random parts. You can see how they have like, you know, things like the CERN information. They've got a yellow pages functionality, which you obviously can't go to. They've got internet news and the internet news groups. They look like 4chan boards, dude. Oh, Bionet. Shit. Biz. Looks like it's commercially oriented. And of course, you can see that they're looking at America. This is like business-oriented stuff, posting about stolen merchandise. Oh wait, it's not found on the server. God damn it! I guess we'll read science, dude. I mean, let's go. I mean, this is OG Reddit, basically, if you kind of think about it, dude. Science energy. Oh, it's not founded? Of course, a lot of things just don't exist because these news groups have been taken down. They existed at one point, but obviously servers eventually die out. I doubt that anybody was browsing this kind of stuff, you know, besides me just jumping onto it for the sake of history. Now, if you wanted to browse pages, you would go to Document, open from full document references, and basically in this situation, you would download things, you would put in like URLs like Google, and like hit open. But of course, this just doesn't seem to have any connection to like new age servers and whatnot. So again, it is, ladies and gentlemen, as you can imagine, a pretty dead medium. It's fun to look at in history's sake, but yeah, this is the internet of old, man. Wild shit. So I don't know why this topic has been in my head. I have this weird thing where like once something gets jammed in, I pretty much have to make a video about it just so it can leave my head. It's like a song that gets stuck in, you know, into your head for a little while. You know, you go dun 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 dun. Like I got the GTA 6 trailer still stuck in my head, crying out loud. This is like this topic stuck into my head. Me personally, I didn't know.
You're running off too far if you don't want to win this game.
Wild for my channel because I've made so much content on internet stuff, deep web, that I probably have taken time to look at the origin point, basically what connected all of us in this community together. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, someone in the gamer community is pretty goddamn old at this point, okay? And you know what? It's always good to sit back, relax, and basically, in a way, make a nostalgic web
Eyes to the skies.
in
Replicator
2024 for
incoming.
crying out loud. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it, dislike it. This is me, Mudahar, and yeah, it's a fun time to look at how the internet of old acted. If you feel old like me, but if you're young and you appreciate the fact that you get to browse normally like a normal person, you know, with ease and tons of use on the internet, then, you know, congratulations. You get to experience a web that was built by old bones. And old bones say
Don't give your position away.
I am out.
Let's go. Hostile over there. New kill leader. Watch out.
You fellas know the drill?
But I don't care who you are. A Mac Pro is a bit of an indulgent purchase. I'm self-aware enough to appreciate that, at least, and realize that I'm fortunate to be in this position. Cumbersome. But for that matter, you don't even need that, since as pundit David Selesky has noted, I can rightly film my entire show on an iPhone and then edit it and upload it. Or I could use QuickChat under Windows for free, or any number. So we have to get past these little need parts, because by definition, almost nobody needs it. And similarly, when I say that I need fast networking and boosting SSD speed with lots of storage, I replace need with need want, as that's what best capacity. The question finally becomes not whether you truly need it, but whether what you really want is satisfaction. Second, and perhaps the most compelling reason not to get a Mac Pro is the existence of a Mac Studio. I've had an M1 Ultra Studio since it first came out, and I love it. It edits video to leave, renders in a pretty quick order, and does everything that I need it to do. It's also great for software though more core CPU and faster which there are two problems with the studio. First, the expandability where you're living it. When you're stuck with RAM and support on amazing, and even allowing PCIe devices remotely installed in external storage. In fact, for a long time, I used a trash can Mac Pro and external AMD GPU, most of the contemporary
God damn. I don't know why you guys just left me there.
Installed them in an external node dual cage. They worked well enough and gave me all the high-speed storage that I needed, but they were still throttled by the limitations of the Thunderbolt cable, running at far less than half the speed that they were theoretically capable. Also, both buy 8 PCI devices, and you only get, I believe, 4 over Thunderbolt, so I had basically 16 lanes sharing over 4. When I upgraded to my Mac Ultra Studio, I of course had to forego the external GPU, but I kept the RAID cage as my main storage. Soon after that, I discovered cheap 25 gigabit Mellanox fiber optic cards on eBay and undertook to upgrade everything in my local editing path to 25 gigabit, such as the connection to the storinator in the closet that hosts all of the archived content. The problem is that there's no way to put a cheap PCIe card into a Mac Studio. And so shortly thereafter, I evaluated a Thunderlink 3 box from Atto that brought 25 gigabit to the Mac, and it worked well. Even so, there were two issues with it. First, it was limited to 22 gigabits across both ports due to the realities of the Thunderbolt connection. A minor thing, but a bit frustrating. And second, they cost at least $1,300, so they don't come cheap, especially compared to the $43 PCIe versions that are all over eBay. One of the first questions in building or buying a new PC is how much local SSD storage do you need? I'm a bit of an odd case, I think, in that I've always spec'd my Macs with the smallest internal storage, usually 1 terabyte for current ones. And then I usually run a data drive of some kind, which was USB in the old days and Thunderbolt in more recent times. Keeping most of my data segregated from the operating system has other benefits. As somebody who grew up having to reinstall Windows literally every morning, just by virtue of my job description, it's just the way that I prefer to do things. So how much is enough? If you're producing video and editing locally, I think you need at least 4 terabytes for smaller projects and 8 terabytes if you're editing long 4K segments. And the total amount of storage that you ultimately need will depend on how much data you choose to keep locally versus off on the server. In my case, I aim for at least 12 terabytes. For years, as I've noted, I've had this pair of 12 terabyte drives in RAID 0 SSD storage, and even though it's been constrained in speed due to the Thunderbolt, it's been big enough that I never had to worry about it. But since I figured I'd be saving so much by buying the Mac Pro, I opted to buy a third 6.4 terabyte drive for a total of 20 terabytes. Okay, there's really more to see how fast these guys can RAID 0, all 3 of them, but I get that. There are 2 problems with the Mac Studio and its SSD storage. The first is that it's not expandable. In a device that can cost upward of $8,000, you're not afforded the luxury of even ever adding a second NVMe stick. So you get to buy all your storage on day 0, and you need to be prepared to live with it for the lifetime of that device. And the second problem with Apple storage...
Match found.
An 8 terabyte SSD in a Mac Studio will run you $2,200. Not as the price, but as the upgrade price. So let's be charitable and say they're charging you about $2,500 for the SSD. Combine those two and you wind up in an interesting situation.
How's everybody doing today?
Not only can you not have 16 terabytes of SSD in a Mac Studio, even if you could, it would cost you $5,000
Good.
Moving on to another expansion issue, we run into 25 gigabit.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, dude. I haven't played this game in like 2 weeks.
Here today, it falls into
Probably
a
about to sell.
category that has 3 key attributes. I really want it, but I don't truly need it.
It's
I
alright.
have
We
it in
can
the
play
shop, so I can
months.
take advantage of it if I had it, and it's really, really expensive to add to a Mac Studio. So right off the top, we're talking about $1,300 to add 25 gigabit networking to a Mac Studio. If you'll concede that for a high-end video editing workstation that ample storage and fast networking are not unreasonable expectations, these costs start to add up. To get the Mac Studio with the same 24-core CPU, 76-core GPU, and 128 gigabytes of RAM config as I spec the Mac Pro at, you're at $6,000 out of the gate. The Mac Pro is pushing $9,000 at the same config, so you're looking at a delta of about $3,000 just for the case and slots. If, however, you accept my earlier logic on the cost of SSDs and networking, we can add $5,000 and $1,300 respectively. That would bring you up to an incredible outlay of over $14,000 to get an equivalent config in the studio. Now, how much does the Mac Pro cost? Well, we already know they're not cheap. I got the best possible CPU and GPU, but otherwise I didn't go crazy because I figure 128 gigabytes keeps the price, and 1 terabyte is enough for the rest. That put me right around $9,000. Not cheap by any
Match
estimation,
found.
but still $5,000 less than a comparably equipped studio. Now I did have to add 3 SSDs that I picked up on eBay for $350 a piece, and a Mellanox card that rounded $43. So that brings my outlay up to about $10,000 in total.
shield and sword.
They have to suck. But a sum that I argue is still 4,000 less in a Mac Pro than it would be in a Mac Studio. Or if you reject pricing 2 SSDs into a studio when you can't configure one that way anyway, it's still a couple of $1,000s cheaper. You can reject this whole line of reasoning and I'd understand. But I think the basic message is still true. It's cheaper to expand a Mac Pro with commodity PCIe hardware than it is to expand a studio with custom Thunderbolt hardware, and the performance results are a pleasant side effect. At some point, if you're adding enough hardware, you'll actually break even with a Mac Pro. If you don't have a need to expand a studio beyond its factory limits, however, then the studio is definitely the go. Enough trying to convince myself. Let's take a look at what you get for your money when you step up to the M2 Mac Pro. I'll spare you the unboxing, since as elegant as the packaging is, you've no doubt already seen it or can see it elsewhere. It's the inside of the machine that we're interested in, so let's have a look. In the back of the machine, we find 6 Thunderbolt ports for a total of 8 on the machine. Below that, we find our dual HDMI, which I believe is 2.1, but it will do 8K at 60 and 240 Hz at 4K. There are also a pair of USB-A ports on it. Inside, we find 8 slots. And the top one is proprietary, it's not PCI, which means we really have 7 PCIe slots. That top proprietary one is occupied by the Thunderbolt bridge card, and the first PCIe slot contains those HDMI and USB-A ports, leaving you a total of 6 open slots. 4 of those are by 8 slots, and the bottom 2 are by 16. When I installed the first pair of SSDs, I was pleased to see that my performance more than doubled from when they were running explosions are. The next step is to install all 3, along with the 25 gigabit Mellon. These are all by 8 cards at best, so there's plenty of PCIe bandwidth available in each slot, and it's all Gen 4. And for some reason, my speed didn't markedly increase when I added the third SSD. My suspicion was that 2 of the SSDs must be sharing bandwidth, or perhaps even all 3, and that they'd saturated the PCIe lanes. I looked around seemingly in vain for a map of how the PCIe slots are connected to the M2 on the Mac Pro, but I simply couldn't find it. And that might be because they're dynamic. There's a utility in macOS that allows you to auto-assign the PCIe lanes or to manually balance them between 2 pools, all in as pool over pool. I didn't tweak that, though I confess I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I managed to get the speeds up to the SSDs to the point where I was getting more than 7,000
For you.
in both reads and writes, which isn't bad for what are actually Gen 3 devices. Of course, I could just throw 4 super fast 8TB Sabrent PCIe Gen 4 SSDs into a by 16 card, and that's exactly what Linus Tech Tips would do, and it would be much faster. But I already had the sunk cost of owning it when I was
Last player standing.
that, though I confess I don't know exactly what I'm doing, I managed to get the speeds up to the SSDs to the point where I was getting more than 7,000 megabytes a second in both reads and writes, which isn't bad for what are actually Gen 3 devices. Now, of course, I could just throw 4 super fast 8TB Sabrent PCIe Gen 4 SSDs into a by 16 card, and that's exactly what Linus Tech Tips would do, and it would be much faster. But I already had the sunk cost of owning the existing pair of SSDs that I had on hand. And so far, Sabrent hasn't made it rain SSDs in these realms. But if Sabrent's a source say or show off how fast their SSDs can be in a fast config, then it works out. My performance is up about 30% across the board from the M1, and that's true for both video production and code compilation. I won't belabor the point with a big set of benchmarks, but let's take a look at the Geekbench 6 results for some quick context. With a single core score of 2785, it scores within 1% of the single core score of the new Threadripper 7995WX. So the M2 is almost the same speed on a single core as a new Ryzen. For comparison, the older M1 came out at 2325. In terms of multi-core performance, the M1 Ultra Studio 20-core set the baseline at 17,781.
One enemy remaining.
Well. Cores produced the best of 21,757.
I had
things, the Mac Pro score 128,761, which puts it directly on par with both the NVIDIA A4000 and, much to my surprise, the RTX 3080 laptop GPU in the tank PC. Those three scores represent a bit better than half of what my RTX 4080 will do. It scores 227,370. I really wish Apple would resolve its issues with NVIDIA to the point that I could just throw a 4090 into a Mac Pro, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Of course, as Mac apologists are likely to point out, it's more to video production than just GPU horsepower, and the M2 sports an impressive array of accelerators and coders that conspire to make the machine incredibly fast at rendering and exporting video, even at higher resolution than 4K, right? To check the storage performance, I ran Blackmagic disk 7,800 megabytes a second.
Spike down B.
5,600 megabytes a second.
One enemy remaining.
The upgrade to the storage speed at 78 with rendering and exporting video, even at higher resolutions like 4K or 8K. To check the storage performance, I ran Blackmagic disk speed test and generated a best of 7,800 megabytes a second for read and 5,600 megabytes a second on the write side. Whether it's the upgrade to the M2 or the upgrade to my local storage speed or some combination of both, I can't be sure, but this machine is wicked fast. All I know is that scrubbing a 4K timeline is instant and responsive. I'm doing this live at 120 Hz refresh rate as well, so it's hard to convey just how crisp this timeline navigation is now in person. To verify the network performance, I first used iPerf 3 against the Storinator to confirm that I was seeing
Spike down A.
5 gigabits per second of sustained throughput. But then I did the math.
One enemy remaining.
Right here, mid.
This takes into account the entire end-to-end process, including the estimated sharing stack, and gives me a rough estimate of how fast it will actually feed and read and write data to and from the app. Those numbers came back at about 1,300 megabytes per second in both directions. For reasons I can't even begin to explain, that's about 30% better than I ever got with a Thunderbolt network, even though in theory it's well below the 22 gigabit data ceiling on my cable. If you're some kind of TrueNAS scale guru like Tom Lawrence, let me ask you this. Why can't TrueNAS satisfy read hits out of the cache at wire speed on a 25 gigabit connection? It's a Xeon Silver 4216 CPU, and the dataset spans 3 VDEVs of 9 drives each. In front of that is an Optane SSD cache tier, and it has 384 gigabytes of RAM as well as S-Log SSDs, so I'm perplexed as to why it's not 2,500 megabytes a second.
The hunt begins!
If you happen to know or have a suggestion on how to get it there, please shout out in the video comments. If you found today's episode being any combination of interesting or entertaining, remember that I'm mostly in this for the subs and likes, so please be sure to leave me one of each before you go today. And if you haven't seen one of my videos in a while, consider turning on the all notifications for the reminder, since I release so sporadically and kind of randomly, easy to miss, and then you fall out of the habit. So you won't see them further. But if you turn on all
last player standing,
you get a little ding every time I release an episode. And you can turn it off and find it once
one enemy remaining. Spike down, defender spawn.
Spectrum, check out the free sample of my book on Amazon. It's everything I know about living your best life on the spectrum. Thanks for joining me out here in the shop. Meantime and in between time, I hope to see you next time, right here at James Garage.
What are some of the earliest crimes committed by YouTubers? Back in the OG era of YouTube, say 2005 to 2012, the media
Quiet.
YouTube news
30
wasn't
seconds
really
left.
a thing. And this resulted in some pretty bizarre content creator crimes going underreported in the site's early days. And many of you guys missed out on some insane shit. Ever heard of the 19-year-old vlogger who went on to rob a bank?
Planted.
Or what about this pro Tea Party YouTuber who got convicted to 30 years in prison? And of course, there's the musician who became one of the first YouTubers to ever engage in illegal conduct with kids. It's not Austin Jones. Yeah, these kids are site itself. And I'm excited to go and check back in time and explore these obscure
I did that.
YouTube criminal lore.
Clutch.
These are the forgotten
Thank you for leaving me alone.
early YouTube. Today's video is sponsored by Keeps, and to
Everyone
begin
just
the ad,
learned what
let's
I
look at my
already knew.
hair from
You're
some old
wild,
videos
say.
back in 2020.
I saw the spike
As you
come
can
flying out of
see,
her hands when I
the boy
killed
was
her.
losing his hair and losing it fast.
But I wasn't
going
gonna
to
give my position to the other
do something about my
player.
hair loss and got started with Keeps, and the results have been pretty insane. Here's me at 6 months after starting Keeps, a
Right
year
or
after
wrong?
starting, 2 years after starting, 3 years after starting, and then there's me
Did I get
right
muted?
now. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm looking pretty solid in the hair department, and if I didn't start Keeps, I don't think that would be the case. Keeps offers generic versions of the 2 FDA-approved hair loss products at a can't-beat price, and best of all, you skip the trip to the doctor.
Mid.
Keeps will set you up with a prescriber online, ship it to you, and in 4 to 6 months, you could start seeing results. Look, you guys know my story. I stand by Keeps. I've been using this stuff for most of my YouTube career at this point, and I really do credit it for stopping my hair loss. And if you're a guy
117 Raina, she just healed.
about hair loss,
Mid.
there's no better time than now to start Keeps. Hair loss stops with Keeps.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
That's Keeps.com/. This story is honestly one of the strangest that I've covered on the channel, and to be honest with you guys, I'm shocked that no one has properly dived into this case prior. It's the uneasy tale of July 4 Patriot, a political YouTuber whose calls for violent revolution and government upheaval got him in trouble with the law, eventually resulting in a nationwide manhunt and the guy being convicted for one of the sickest crimes imaginable. This is the July 4 Patriot story. Charles Allen Dyer was once a served in the infantry. From what has been written online, Charles claims to have had dual honor discharge. The man has also claimed to have served 1 year for the Stevens County Sheriff's
Spike
Office.
down, mid.
Well, Charles entered the Marines in 1998 at the age of 17. It's said that at the time he was completely in line with the military.
One enemy remaining.
But in the late 2000s, he started to have questions about the policies in his country and grew paranoid about what he saw as corruption surrounding the political.
Oh my God! Did you see that?
So in an effort to express these issues that he had with the government, he would set up his own YouTube channel called July 4 Patriot. On February 20th of 2019, the man would upload a video in which he asked his would-be viewers to stand up for their
I
freedom,
can't steal something
claiming
that's
that
already
the country
mine.
was under distress and that the United States citizens had to stay informed in order to get out of this corrupted state.
Hello, American patriots. Come to you today to let you know that your government cannot overpower you. If you as the people hold your own faith, your way of life, in the palm of your hand. You are under the watchful eye of an ever-increasingly tyrannical government. But within that government lies patriots just like you.
The man likely fearing discharge if his views were known by higher-ups in the service. And in these videos, Dyer's patriotism would be on full display, with him laying out his ideologies and, of course, some revolutionary ideals akin to, like, the tree of liberty needs to be enemy spotted me sort of thing.
Patriots, I want to thank those of you across the country who reaffirmed your oath to the Constitution.
Healing you.
In my mind, the 19th of April 2009 is new hope.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
These are patriots great on. Soon you might begin to see the separation of true patriots from those who are only foolish.
You really expect them to work.
In a time of crisis, those who do not stand with their convictions in their hearts will shrink from conflict.
As much as this
Those who
world
stand
hurt
when
me,
they are needed the most
it's mine.
learn to respect
And I
and
will
love
kill
their country.
Not long after starting his online campaign, he took real-world action as well, and would join the Oath Keepers, a far-right militia group who claim that their one true goal is to uphold the Constitution, and they encourage their members to disobey orders from the government if those orders encroach on the foundation of the Constitution. The Oath Keepers were founded in March of 2009, and Charles would join them on April 19th of 2009. Eventually, Charles would become more brazen and less focused on anonymity, speaking publicly at Tea Party events on behalf of the Oath Keepers. The man would become a notable member of the group, becoming somewhat of a representative of the Marine within the militia, and
Spike down
like a liaison of sorts for the military. Videos and Tea Party Oath Keeper gatherings would continue for July 4th period, but beneath the activism, trouble.
One enemy remaining.
2009.
He's there also. He's there. He's behind the box. Good job.
Uttering disloyal statements, criminal life, communicating a threat
MVP
and
is
soliciting
mine.
another to
Let's
commit
do
an
this.
offense. However, these charges were later dropped. Charles left the service after this
Pick them up.
incursion,
Hello.
and his vitriol towards
Hello.
the government grew further.
Hello.
In 2010, Charles was featured in a full Vice documentary that centered around the Oath Keepers. The doc ominously warned of a
Hello.
possibility of a looming
Hello.
second revolutionary
Hello.
war if folks like Charles had their way. Charles likely viewed himself a determined patriot, but looking in from the outside, his quest to correct the government's perceived wrongdoings was self-destructive. Not only that, the man had some monstrous tendencies that would soon be exposed. Foul deeds, not even relating to his radical political ideas. Soon, Charles would be
You will not kill my
multitude of
allies.
accusations that went beyond the line of betrayal. Accusations that would destroy his whole online career, put him in prison, and have him claiming that he was the target
Spike
of a
down,
government
B.
conspiracy. On January 21st, 2010, in his home in
One
Marlow,
enemy
Oklahoma,
remaining.
Charles was arrested on charges of rape and forced sodomy on his 7-year-old daughter.
They don't
While
have a
searching
single
his
life
home, the
worth saving.
authorities found a 40mm grenade launcher along with several firearms. This caused the authorities to add on the extra charge of possession of an unregistered military weapon. When the news of this disturbing arrest reached the Oath Keepers, the group would begin to distance themselves from Charles, hoping to avoid bad publicity. And they would even write later that Charles was never actually associated with the organization. Charles's fans on YouTube theorized that their leader was being sabotaged. Begins. And they also speculated that Charles may have been framed by a jilted ex-lover. Yes, some of his YouTube fans claim to have had proof that Charles's ex-wife was framing him for an abhorrent crime as a vengeful act, speculating that Charles had reportedly cheated on her without consent. This is what she was doing in return to get back at him. Whatever the case, during the legal process, kidnapping and second-degree rape by in the first trial regarding these matters in January of 2010,
One enemy remaining.
result from this trial. At this trial, the jury would deliberate for 8 hours and they came to a decision, but as they were returning, one of the jurors changed their mind, resulting in a hung jury. Keep in mind, Charles was out on bond, so he could just go back home when these trials would fail. After the second
Last round
trial,
before the
Dyer would
switch.
begin uploading videos to his YouTube channel, criticizing anyone he saw as against him, from judges to prosecutors to district attorneys and any other sort of governmental official, while also declaring his innocence and claiming to have done nothing wrong. He said that he had evidence that would lead to his vindication. Although Dyer's legal situation was still in jeopardy, he wasn't going down without a fight. In fact, his next action would worsen his circumstances more than you could possibly imagine. Dyer's next court date was set for August 15th of 2011, but the man had no intentions of attending. Rather, July 14th, he had skipped the court and went on the run from authorities. Fleeing to Texas after his mobile home had mysteriously been burned to the ground. He
Last
was now
player
an at-large
standing.
criminal and considered dangerous. Authorities began a nationwide search as police suspected he was being aided by friends or old Oath Keeper buddies. It was thought that maybe these guys helped Dyer burn down the mobile home in an effort to destroy evidence of potential crimes. With a nationwide police manhunt in effect, it wouldn't be long before Dyer was spotted near a campground
Spike
in
planted.
Texas. Cops moved in for an arrest, but the Weasley alleged sex offender and self-described patriot was able to escape law enforcement by fleeing to the woods. Shortly after, while Dyer was on the run, his lawyer would receive a communication in the form of a letter, warning all who sought him out. His letter said, quote, "I have been pushed to the limits multiple times by law enforcement and the judicial system in an attempt to cause me to take violent action against them. If I do, I know I will be a monster."
Switching sides.
Our judicial system is nothing more than a system
Stay
of
alive.
liars and crooks.
I want
working
their
under the
life,
color
not
of the
yours.
law, where the rich go free and the poor are made to suffer injustice. Something must be done to expose it. A week later, on August 25th, 2011, residents of Pecan Grove, Texas would notify the police of a strange man near a local daycare center. The sighting would result in officers being dispatched to investigate the unsettling silhouette. Turns out this marauding man was none other than Charles Dyer himself. While they didn't catch him at this daycare, Dyer was found later in the day at a nearby fast food joint. Police would arrest Dyer after he had just left the Sonic drive-thru. He had just finished drinking a cherry limeade. Upon being arrested, officers noted that the man seemed exhausted and unkempt. It looked like he had been living in the woods for some time. He offered no resistance and told the officers that he was, quote, just done. Later, he would tell authorities that he had been hiding in a brush pile near a creek for 5 to 6 days. He had in his possession about $1,000 in a GPS device. Curiously, 2 of Dyer's militia associates were arrested around this time as well, on suspicion of arson, or police thought they had helped Charles burn down his mobile home, possibly aiding him in destroying some sort of evidence. One of the associates was reportedly Dyer's own girlfriend at the time.
One enemy
Dyer's
remaining.
third trial in April of 2012, his ex-wife,
Are we on
and
offense or
alleged
defense?
child victim, would testify against him. And Dyer would later be found guilty of rape after the jury deliberated for just 3 hours. Charles, July 4 patriot, would be sentenced to serve 30 years in prison. The trial itself has been described as a circus of sorts due to some of Dyer's behavior during it and after the fact.
Let them
Dyer
try
would
to
make
get
it vocal on many occasions that he had conspiracy theories regarding the prosecutors, stating that they were colluding with the government, and he was adamant on vocalizing these political views whenever he saw an opportunity. While in prison, Charles would have an Indiegogo
Attackers win.
to raise funds for legal fees and expenses. He also explained what he saw as the truth of what actually happened to him. On Charles Dyer's Indiegogo, he was purposefully vague, detailing a narrative claiming that he became the target of a sting operation in which he fell for a tactical ploy that caused him to accept an illegal item in 2009. Charles says in January of 2010, his estranged wife had created a fake rape allegation against him, which allowed police into his home to search for DNA evidence against him. Charles would go on to